Hello everyone, my name is Ajay Podar. I am part of Informatica GCS team. As a part of today's presentation, we are going to see how to create and run mapping in SQL ELT using Redshift. As a part of today's presentation, we will be covering these agenda: SQL ELT overview, target and supported source for SQL ELT mapping, how to create and run mapping in SQL ELT using Redshift, and the demo. So let's try to understand on SQL ELT. SQL ELT, which stands for extract, load, transform, which uses cloud native SQL to move and transform the data efficiently within the same cloud ecosystem. You can use SQL ELT when your source and target are in same cloud ecosystem, and this approach process all the mapping logic within the cloud environment. SQL ELT optimizes data integration by leveraging cloud infrastructure, resulting in faster and more efficient processing. Target and supported source for SQL ELT mapping. This table highlights the list of target and supported source. So currently we are discussing on Redshift, and for this the target will be Redshift and the source can be Amazon S3 or Amazon Redshift. Now let's see on demo how we can create and implement Redshift SQL ELT mapping. Log into IDMC, select the data integration and create a new mapping. Click on mappings. Once you click mapping, it will prompt with two options: mapping and mapping SQL ELT. Click mapping SQL ELT, continue. So once you click continue, it will prompt with the list of the connection for the SQL ELT. So currently we are checking on Amazon Redshift, so we'll be proceeding with the Amazon Redshift. Once you have selected the Amazon Redshift connection, it will prompt with target connection, where you have to specify the target connection name. I have updated my target connection name. Click on next. So this is the mapping UI for SQL ELT, where you have the source and target. So the target connection is selected at the initial phase only. You need to update the object from here, and source you can select based on the target which you have selected. So when you have selected the target connection as a Amazon Redshift, it will only list the supported source for that target connection, that is S3 and Amazon Redshift. So let's try to create a dummy mapping where we will load the data from Amazon S3 to Redshift using some transformation. I have already created a simple mapping which is having a source as a Amazon S3 and target as a Amazon Redshift connection. So here I will be loading the flat file from Amazon S3 to Redshift table, that is SQL ELT TGT. So in between I'm using one filter condition, that is name equal to Ajay. So before running the mapping, you can perform the SQL ELT preview to see what all the query will be generated or will be executed on your cloud ecosystem, that is Redshift ecosystem. So for this, click on this icon. Here you will see the generate SQL query option. Click here. So once you click here, it will start generating the SQL query which will be executed on the Redshift ecosystem. You can monitor the status of this query generation from your monitor tab or from the My Job. As you can see here, the preview is in the starting phase. Let's go back to the mapping. It has successfully generated the query. Let's expand this. Here you can see it has generated the SQL query which will be executed on the Redshift side. So first will be the creation of the temporary table, as we are loading the data from file system. from Amazon S3. So it will first create the temporary table, where it will load the data to this temporary table, and finally insert the data to your target Redshift table, that is SQL ELT TGT. Let's try to run this mapping. So for running this mapping, you need to create the mapping task. Click on this three dot, new mapping task. Here you need to specify the name, runtime environment and mapping. I have already created a simple mapping task. I have updated the mapping task name, assigned the runtime environment and selected the mapping, and this is the mapping image. Click on next and click on run button. I have already ran this mapping and which is successful. You can also see the list of the query which are executed on your Redshift side from the session log. So for this, download the session log and you will see these entry at the session log. So first one is the creation of the temporary table, where the flat file data will be loaded to this temporary table, and then it will be finally moving the actual data to your target Redshift connection. And this is the insert query which will be performed on your Redshift side. Here you can see the filter condition, where I have specified on the filter transformation on the mapping logic. For more information on mapping in SQL ELT mode, please refer this documentation. We'll love to hear from you. You can send us a mail to support@informatica.com or tweet us on https://twitter.com/infasupport. Thank you.